When you think about it, South America is a continent that does not get as much attention as the other populated continents in the world. Yet, it is probably the most interesting, only second behind Africa. It has some of the world's oldest rock layer. The rock layer is known as the Guiana Shield, which is about 2 billion years old. It sits below and props up portions of Brazil, French Guiana, Suriname, Guyana, Venezuela, and parts of Colombia and Peru. As a result, in some of these countries can be found some of the world's oldest mountains, called tepuis or tabletop mountains, such as Mount Roraima on the Venezuela, Brazil, Guyana borders. On top of one of these mountains, Ayan Tepui, is found the world's highest waterfall, Angels Falls in Venezuela, which is about the equivalent of 8 American football fields high. And next door in Guyana can be found the world's highest single drop falls, Kaicher Falls. The Guiana Shield sits beneath the northern limits of the world's largest rainforest, the Amazon rainforest, within which lies the world's largest river by volume, the Amazon River. The Amazon forest, in the widest sense, if you include its basin, occupies space in 6 countries: Brazil, Peru, Colombia, Ecuador, Bolivia, Venezuela, and by extension, Guyana and Suriname. It is larger than the world's next 2 largest rainforests combined. Despite being thousands of miles away from the United States, it affects weather patterns there. It is so vast, there are areas that have never seen a non-Amerindian human. It is also so dense that in many places, if you stood beneath the canopy of trees, it would take 10 minutes for rainwater to reach down and wet you. It also provides about 20% of the oxygen on the planet. There are Amerindian tribes within its confines that have never made contact with the outside world. If the forest was a country, it would be about the 9th largest in the world and almost as large as the continental United States. Its main river, the mighty Amazon River, mentioned earlier, is the 2nd largest river or longest river in the world behind the Nile in Egypt, though this is often disputed. But in terms of water content and discharge, no other river in the world comes close, making it the largest river in the world. In fact, its total water discharge is greater than the next 7 largest rivers in the world combined. Waters exiting at its mouth can reach as far as 200 miles or more out into the Atlantic Ocean. Its delta is over 200 miles wide, which is about the distance from New York City to Washington, D.C., and it contains one of the world's largest river islands, Marajo Island. The river runs over 4,000 miles, or the equivalent distance between New York City and Helsinki, Finland, if laid out in a straight line. There are no bridges that cross over any part of the actual river, though one was built over one of its tributaries in 2010. The continent also has the longest mountain range in the world, the Andes, which, believe it or not, also crosses over into the northern portion of the Caribbean island of Trinidad, which was once part of that continent. It has the world's highest capital city, La Paz, Bolivia, at over 11,000 feet, and the highest commercially navigable lake in the world, Lake Titicaca, on the border of Peru and Bolivia. 2 of the world's largest countries can also be found in South America, Brazil at number 5 and Argentina at number 8. Brazil happens to also be the world's largest Portuguese-speaking country, and Argentina is the largest speaking Spanish country. You can also find the driest place on Earth that is not part of the polar regions. It is known as the Atacama Desert in Chile. By some estimations, there are places within the desert that have not seen rainfall in some 400 years. The desert might also be the oldest on Earth. And speaking of Chile, it is the largest north to south country in the world, stretching over 2,600 miles, or roughly the flying distance between New York City and Georgetown, Guyana, or basically a 6-hour flight. The country is also known for occasional powerful earthquakes, holding the record for an earthquake that struck in 1960 at 9.5 on the Richter scale. Not to be outdone by other continents, South America also has its share of mysterious places, such as Nazca and Machu Picchu in Peru, and spectacularly amazing places like Patagonia in southern Argentina. On a side note of history, the country of Haiti played a pivotal role in the liberation of the South American Spanish-speaking countries from Spain by providing safe haven, arms, and support to Simón Bolivar's liberation cause. In honor, a statue of Alexander Pétion, the Haitian leader who supported Bolivar, sits in Cali, Colombia. Finally, the continent has one English-speaking country, Guyana, one Dutch-speaking country, Suriname, one French-speaking country, French Guiana, and one Portuguese-speaking country, Brazil. The other countries speak Spanish.